I think one of the most underrated things about linebackers when you're trying to grade and judge their coverage is their spatial awareness inside of coverage. And I want to roll a clip real quick of Shaq Leonard and just show you that spatial awareness and what he does here to Derek Carr, because I think it's important to see this on film. To begin with, you see there's some motion here. They got Renfro kind of coming in motion. You see Leonard's kind of picking him up in that motion. He's watching the flats. You can see him eyeballing the flats, but I think this is when he gets his head around, shows you exceptional football. This shows you next level style football play here. He flips that head around. Now he's staring down Derek Carr, and he sees Derek Carr's not going to the flats, and he sees there's going to be an opening underneath here to kind of pick this ball away. As a pass rusher, the one theme I noticed from watching his tape, watching his film is, if you allow plays to develop, and there are long developing plays, and I watched this against one of the Eagles games against Carson Wentz, this guy's a nightmare. He is an absolute nightmare as a pass rusher on these long-winded, way too, taking entirely too long to develop type passing plays. This guy will be all over you as a blitzer. And that's a pretty nice thing to see from the linebacking core, because I actually think we got some dudes from Zach Cunningham, I think, is pretty decent at doing this. I think Morrow is pretty dang good at doing this. I think Nakobe Dean's pretty good at doing this. I think when you look at Shaq Leonard's film, though, I think Shaq Leonard is outstanding at this. And, I mean, he really had some plays that just popped off to me to where they put the quarterback under center, and they're trying to take advantage of him, and he just absolutely blows the football play up. Even there's, times to where he's just timing the blitz, right? It's more so kind of like, okay, they're going to time the blitz, they're going to bring Leonard, and we're going to watch what he can do in terms of get to the pocket and disrupt things. He's really good at that. I mean, this guy has had a few plays on his tape that make you go, huh, I don't know what's left in the tank, but if there's anything left in the tank, this is worth going after, to be quite honest. The third thing that I noticed about his tape, watching it closely, is there's a lot of luck involved with him. I'm not going to lie. Like, there's sometimes he just kind of undercuts a football that was just, he's just perfect. He's in the perfect place at the right time, right place, and they throw the ball right to him, and it's like, I wish when I was playing ball, I wish it was that easy at times for me as well. But with that said, there's something to that, right? People call it luck. They call it what they want to do, what they want to call it, but you have to make your own luck. I mean, it's just the way it works. He's got a knack for being around the football. I mean, he has a real knack for being around the football, creating and causing fumbles, and then also being that guy in the right spot at the right time to recover said fumbles. I mean, it's definitely part of his game to where he is very aware of where the football is at any given time, and he will attack that football and go after that football and try to get it back. I really like him as in terms of like being that savvy veteran type of player, right? Being that guy that's probably not what he was just 2-3 years ago. Injuries mount up, age catches up with you. I mean, time's undefeated. We all know that. Time's undefeated. But on a team that's set to compete, a team that has got the bigs down on the line of scrimmage, right? When you got that Jordan Davis, right? When you've got Fletcher Cox, when you've got Milton Williams, right? When you've got a phenom in Jalen Carter as a rookie down there, when you've got Marlon Tuipulotu, when you've got this arsenal in terms of defensive line, that's not even getting to our edge rushers and guys like Brandon Graham and Josh Sweat, and then the variability you have guys with like, Hassan Reddick and these dudes, these speed rusher types. I think that you can revitalize a guy's career like this. We saw this with Zach Cunningham. Zach Cunningham was said to be a bust in coverage, and, man, that dude's been a savvy player in coverage. I think the same thing could be said here with Shaq Leonard is, like, yeah, he's not the same guy he was a couple of years ago, but you give him this type of team around him, and you allow him to play freely and to use that savviness, that veteran savviness, that veteran NFL player, something that only comes with time and freaking experience. I'm curious of what it might look like here in Philadelphia, because I'll tell you this, a rotation that includes the likes of Zach Cunningham, Nicholas Morrow, Shaq Leonard, and then Nakobe Dean when Nakobe Dean gets back, if he comes back healthy. And then you got a guy like Christian Ellis who's more of a special teams ace. You got Ben Van Sumeren who's still on the practice squad. It's kind of a special teams ace guy as well. I think you actually have a really well-rounded linebacking core. And I think we need that right now just because, just to begin with, guys, we're really down on numbers. Like, we just need, from a numerical standpoint, we physically need bodies here. We need to add some guys to the rotation. Should we really perceive there being true interest in Shaq Leonard? I think there is. I mean, the first step is, guys, he's got to get out of Dallas unsigned. We got to have an opportunity to convince him to get here. So, I mean, it's not necessarily even in our hands. I mean, I think Dallas is making a mistake if they let this guy come visit Philadelphia. I think you probably should seal the deal if you're the Cowboys. With that said, Yeah, I think there's a fit here, guys. I absolutely think there's a fit here in Philadelphia. I do think there's a need for this type of player here. I think we're just so low on what we have. We don't know the health of Zach Cunningham right now. We know he got, messed up a hamstring, right? I mean, we don't know how long it's going to take. We don't know how long it's going to linger, right? Nakobe Dean is kind of dealing with that foot, man. We don't know how long that foot's going to be. Foots are tricky, man. When you're dealing with like Liz Frank type injuries, they're ridiculously tricky. So we need to be careful with that, right? The only guy we really have that we know is healthy, that's played quality snaps in the NFL, is Nicholas Morrow. So, I mean, I definitely think there's a clear need here. So I do think there's going to be genuine interest. I don't know. I know a lot of you guys have asked me before, like on Twitter and stuff like that. You've asked me in some direct messages what I think contractually. I don't know, guys. I mean, I think it'll be slightly above what the veteran minimum will be. I think that's what his asking price is going to be. I think that's what he's going to get from somebody. It won't be right at the vet minimum. I think it's going to be slightly above that. But I think this is the time you go in. I mean, you have a roster that's ready to win a Super Bowl. You have control of the 1 seed right now. You are controlling your own destiny. You're controlling fate right now. This is the type of move I'd make personally. This is the type of move I would personally make if I were the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, y'all, I appreciate y'all's time and attention. If you want to learn a little bit more about Nicholas Morrow, because I keep getting this question, guys, I did break him down in the offseason. The Nick Morrow video you can find right here. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video.